a global shakeup, leaders falling, and civilizations on the brink. Nostradamus and Baba Vanga predicted a world in 2025 that will look unrecognizable to you. Natural disasters reshape landscapes, political alliances collapse, and humanity faces new dangers. But the chaos doesn't end there. Their predictions suggest that this will be the beginning of a new world order. Are you ready for what's coming? Nostradamus wrote, "The earth shall tremble in the new lands, and the great mountains shall belch smoke and ash." Some people interpret this line as a warning of massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. When Nostradamus mentions new lands, some think he is referring to the Americas, where geologists have warned about some major events that are yet to unfold. For instance, the west coast of the United States sits on the San Andreas Fault. This massive earthquake could seriously damage California, changing both the land and the way people live there. Scientists keep a close watch on this fault line, seeing it as a disaster waiting to happen. Imagine the scene: skyscrapers collapsing, highways and bridges broken apart, entire neighborhoods flattened as the ground shakes violently. The chaos wouldn't just affect one area. Its impact would spread across the country, hitting the economy, politics, and society. Millions of lives would be turned upside down in a single day, with massive destruction leaving people without homes, supplies, or even loved ones. Communities would face intense pressure to rebuild and recover after so much loss. But it gets only worse from here. Baba Vanga's prediction suggests that 2025 will be the year of extreme environmental disasters. She spoke of a wave of destruction from the earth itself, which some think could mean not only earthquakes, but also volcanic eruptions and other natural disasters. The Pacific Ring of Fire, with its many active and dormant volcanoes, is one of the world's most earthquake-prone areas. A major eruption here, especially from an underwater volcano, could trigger a chain reaction, leading to earthquakes and possibly tsunamis that might hit coastlines around the world. Think about waves as tall as buildings crashing into coastal cities, swallowing entire communities. The impact would be huge, leaving millions homeless and forcing people to leave areas that become unlivable. The effects would go beyond every person, and whole societies would be reshaped. For coastal countries, the loss of port cities would disrupt global trade, causing food shortages and economic turmoil worldwide. Our global economy is so connected that damage in one place affects everyone. But there's more. In normal times, food, medicine, and emergency supplies can be shared easily. But after a disaster of this scale, shortages could lead to divisions. Some nations might keep supplies to themselves, while others face extreme poverty. In more vulnerable countries, civil unrest could break out as people struggle for basic resources. Such a disaster could remind us of our shared risks and the need for global cooperation. But this is nothing compared to what they predicted about a new world order. Natural disasters aren't the only challenges that Nostradamus and Baba Vanga predicted for 2025. Both prophets hinted at big changes in global politics, with a shift in power that could completely change the world as we know it. Nostradamus talked about alliances shifting while old ones crumble, which some people interpret as a warning that current superpowers might lose influence, while new alliances could rise. The global balance of power is more fragile than ever. The United States, a world leader for decades, faces growing competition from countries like China and Russia. China, with its booming economy and advanced technology, is in a strong position to challenge the dominance of Western nations. Could 2025 be the year that China steps up as the leading power? Or perhaps the year a new alliance from Asia or the Middle East challenges the traditional powers? But that's not all. Imagine if the European Union achieves new levels of unity, forming a strong alliance that rivals both the United States and China. Or consider a coalition of Asian nations working together to boost their economies and strengthen their military ties, presenting a new challenge to the West. Such shifts could change international trade, diplomacy, and even cultural trends. Are we on the verge of a new world order? Baba Vanga's predictions touch on this theme too. She spoke of leaders toppling like leaves in autumn, which some see as a warning of political instability. People worldwide are frustrated with issues like inequality, corruption, and loss of rights, leading to more protests and calls for change. By 2025, this movement for reform could reach its peak. Imagine millions of people protesting in major cities around the world, demanding justice, fair treatment, and the removal of ineffective leaders. Governments might be unprepared for such a large-scale demand for change, struggling to keep order and prevent chaos. Leaders who once seemed untouchable might be replaced, with new leaders stepping up. Could this unrest lead to a transformation in how governments work worldwide? But there's something else you need to know about the predictions of dangerous scientific advancements for 2025. In the 21st century, scientific progress has sped up to a level that's hard to believe. From developing artificial intelligence to changing genetics, we are entering a future that even sci-fi writers might not have imagined. Nostradamus wrote, "Man shall play God, and the world shall pay." Many people interpret this as a warning about the risks of pushing science too far and changing the natural order. With powerful technologies like AI and brain chips on the rise, some wonder if 2025 could be the year we cross a line, entering a future with benefits, but also potential dangers we may not be ready for. Artificial intelligence is one of the most groundbreaking areas of advancement. Today, AI can learn, make predictions, and even affect our daily lives. It can suggest products, monitor our health, help with legal decisions, and run important systems. But now scientists are working on super-intelligent AI. This is an AI that could surpass human intelligence and transform fields like medicine, finance, and transportation. But it doesn't end here. With this progress comes big risks. What if AI becomes so advanced that it can make decisions on its own without human guidance? Such systems could develop biases, make errors, or even act in ways that don't match human values. Imagine if a super-intelligent AI controlled critical infrastructure like power grids, healthcare, or finance. The risks of a mistake, or worse, malicious actions, are serious. This raises tough ethical questions. Who would be responsible for the actions of AI? Who makes sure it's fair? And who protects humanity's interests? Baba Vanga also predicted a major scientific breakthrough with serious consequences. Many think she was referring to AI or genetic engineering, advances that could change human life. Imagine if scientists discovered a way to extend human life significantly or create genetically modified humans with special abilities. While these changes could be amazing, they also raise ethical issues. Could society end up divided between people who can afford genetic improvements and those who cannot? How would this affect our communities? But there's more. There's also the idea of merging humans and technology, using implants or brain interfaces to enhance memory, learning, or physical abilities. Imagine a world where some people have digital upgrades that improve their thinking or physical skills. Would this technology bring people closer, or create new divisions between those who use it and those who don't? This raises questions about identity, choice, and equality in a world that's becoming more technology-focused. But that's just scratching the surface. One of Baba Vanga's most shocking predictions for 2025 is the possibility of another global health crisis. Though she passed away years ago, her predictions continue to shock many people. She warned of a disease that would strike unexpectedly and affect many nations. After experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, this warning feels even more serious. Could Baba Vanga have foreseen another pandemic? Perhaps one even harder to handle than the last one? Imagine if a new virus appeared, more dangerous than COVID-19 and resistant to current vaccines and treatments. Health experts would rush to contain it, but what if it spread faster than our resources could keep up with? Hospitals, which already face staff shortages, could quickly be overwhelmed, and healthcare workers might again be pushed to their limits. Governments might impose strict travel restrictions, even isolating regions or closing borders to try to stop the spread. But that's not all. The effects of a health crisis like this would be felt in every part of life. Economies, still recovering from COVID-19, could fall into another recession, leading to job losses and disruptions in trade. Essential services might break down, leaving communities without steady access to medical care, food, and other necessities. This scarcity could lead to civil unrest as people demand support and protection. Now let's dig into the parts you may have never heard about. One of the most interesting predictions from both Nostradamus and Baba Vanga is about the possibility of contact with alien life. Nostradamus mentioned visitors from beyond the heavens, a line that has sparked curiosity for centuries. Could 2025 be the year we discover that we are not alone in the universe? Such a discovery would change everything we know about life, space, and our place in it. Imagine what it would mean to encounter intelligent beings far more advanced than us. They might have technology and knowledge way beyond what humans have achieved. Some people might see this contact as a chance to learn from a civilization that has mastered space travel. But others might feel afraid, worried that these beings could bring conflict instead of peace. But it doesn't end here. Baba Vanga also hinted at this possibility. She spoke of a new power from the stars, which many think refers to alien life. Imagine if governments around the world shared information about alien encounters that had been kept secret to avoid panic. This news could divide people into believers and skeptics, with some seeing this contact as a chance to grow and others viewing it as a serious threat. Would these aliens be peaceful explorers or potential invaders? If aliens did make contact, humanity would have huge decisions to make. Should we try to communicate and make peace, or should we be cautious and protect our planet? This discovery would raise deep questions. Are we ready to talk with beings we don't fully understand? What rights would they have on Earth, and how would they see us? But what they predicted about a spiritual awakening or the end of faith will blow your mind even more in 2025. Both Nostradamus and Baba Vanga hinted at a big spiritual shift that will happen in 2025, suggesting a time when humanity might either turn back to faith or move away from it. Nostradamus wrote about a return to the old faiths, which some see as a sign that people may look for spiritual guidance during uncertain and challenging times. When faced with crises, people often turn to faith for comfort, and the world has seen plenty of challenges lately, from economic struggles to environmental issues. But there's more. If 2025 brings more hardships, it's likely that people around the world will start looking for deeper meaning and purpose. This new interest in spirituality could take many forms. Some might revive traditional religions, while others could explore modern practices that mix old wisdom with new ideas. This spiritual awakening might even bring different communities together, creating a global movement centered on compassion, unity, and a shared sense of purpose. However, Baba Vanga also spoke of the end of false prophets, which some believe means that traditional religious institutions could lose influence. This might suggest a shift from organized religion to a more personal form of spirituality, one that aligns with individual beliefs and values. Imagine a future where people move away from strict religions and embrace a type of spirituality that focuses on mindfulness, kindness, and a connection with nature and the universe. Such a change could reshape society's values, encouraging people to search for their own truths. In this possible new era of spirituality, people might come together across different cultural and religious backgrounds, focusing on shared human values instead of their differences. As technology grows and our understanding of the universe deepens, spirituality itself may evolve, blending with scientific curiosity. Concepts like consciousness, the afterlife, and even aliens could help redefine what it means to be spiritual in 2025. If you think this video was great, check out this video about the shocking final message of Pope John Paul II.